Chapter number 6, lesson number 1, in this case, acids, bases, and solutions. And our first lesson is understanding solutions. So to understand solutions, first of all, we have to know the different types of mixtures. The mixtures, well, we can classify them as solutions, colloids, or suspension based on the size of its largest particles. A solution is a mixture that contains a solvent and at least one solute and has the same properties throughout. The solvent is the part of a solution usually present in the greater amount it dissolves the other substances. The solute is the substance that is dissolved by the solvent. A colloid is a mixture that contains small, undissolved particles that do not settle out. A suspension is a mixture in which particles can be seen and easily separated by setting or filtration. So now we got to another question that we should be able to answer. In this case, how does a solution form? A solution forms when particles of the solute separate from each other and become surrounded by particles of the solvent. Solutes are either ionic or molecular in nature. When an ionic solid is mixed with water, the positive and negative ions of the solute are attracted to the partially charged water molecules. The water molecules will eventually surround all of the ions, and the solid crystal will be completely dissolved. If the solid is a molecular compound, it will break up into individual neutral molecules when added to water. The polar water molecules will attract the polar molecules of the solute. The solute molecules will move away from each other. The covalent bonds within the molecules remain unbroken. So finally, if we get to have 3 different samples, in one we have water, in another milk, and in the third one flour and water, and obviously we classify them as solutions, colloids, and suspension, and we try to put a light source that it is going to go across the 3 samples, we are going to see that the light beam in water is not going to be visible, but it is going to be in the milk and the flour and water samples. In this case, it is the effect called the Tyndall effect, and this is the scattering of light by particles in a colloid or suspension.